So we're here with head coach of T-Town Junior High baseball coach Tony Martin. Tony, you guys had kind of a struggle of a regular season, but kind of talk about what all went on during the regular season and who were some of the players that stood out to you.
I think going into the season, we started with 7th and 8th graders, 36 players. So a lot of it was kind of, mixing and matching, finding people in the right spots. Who's going to be playing third, who's going to be first, where can we fill any of these holes. The beginning of the year, we had a lot of different lineups out there, a lot of different scenarios. Trying to see, who can perform, who has the best ability, who can fill those spots. And, as the season progressed, we feel like we kind of got, our lineup set going into the postseason. We've got, our pitching dialed in to where we know who we're going to throw. So yeah, there was a lot of different iterations of everything. And I think, we took some losses with that, but we feel good about now going to the postseason with our lineup.
Who are your biggest catalysts on this team? Blake Niemerg and Cale Geckner, especially with pitching. But how important have they been as far as leadership, getting these younger guys understanding, hey, no matter what happens, you put the work in to be successful?
For sure. Those guys have come up huge through the year. I know the first game, I think Blake started short, but he was DH for. Cale, I think his first win was against Mattoon. He went out through a gym. And then really every game after that, I think his ERA is 1.55. So, he's been stellar all year, reliable. Blake as well, as far as pitching. There was a couple struggles here, but he has it dialed in now. His location's great. He's got some good off-speed stuff. But those two guys, coming in as 7th graders, we're relying on them. And then we've also got a couple other 7th graders, Derek Drace and Bennett Shoemaker, where I think, those guys kind of leading the way, makes those other guys feel like, hey, we need to be here. We can contribute as well. And they definitely have all year long and are huge parts of the team.
You finished the regular season at 4-10. Going into postseason, obviously you're thinking to yourself, okay, anything can happen in postseason. But what was your mentality as a coach, knowing that this team has talent, but they just got to figure out how to get those wins?
Totally. Our last game of the year against Robinson was Will Busher had a walk-off single. So I think that was kind of the turning point. Again, we had our lineup, we had our pitching lineup dialed into what we knew we wanted to do. But I think that hit going into the postseason just started the train. We had a ton of momentum, beat North Clay 10-0, Stewartson 12-0, which we had lost to Stewartson earlier in the year 2-3. Kept moving, Diedrich 7-2, and then beat a really good Newton team as well. Again, I think it was just we got that momentum going, and I think a lot of it, our bats started rolling. We were putting up runs like we had not all year, stringing together doubles, singles. It hit the ball hard and deep. Will Busher, Luke Nieberge, those two guys stick out. They really started hitting the ball hard. Very reliable. Will's batting 4, Luke's 5. So I know like that 1 through 5, we've got some guys that can really hit. We got them stacked up there at the beginning of the lineup, and ideally those guys smack the ball, and then we got our guys below them. They just need to get on base, and we got a lot of speed in the bottom of the order, and even our bottom of our order too. I think Blake Niemerg has 7 stolen bases in the postseason. I think Derek Drace has 4 stolen bases. So those guys get on, they steal, and they're in scoring position. Then we roll around to the top. And then again, our pitching was hit or miss through the year. But again, we got, Cale, Blake, Eric Widener, and Jake Prupster all ready to go, I think. And then going into state, we feel like we kind of got a good mixture of the right recipe going in.
So you played Diedrich for the regional title. You play Newton, Jasper County for the sectional. What does it say about this area for the county of Diedrich, but also, of course, Newton, still a local team, playing against some of the best in our area, and you have to get to state to beat those teams.
Yes, this area is loaded with talent. I know all these kids are playing travel ball, all through the county, all through the area. And it makes it tough. I mean, we don't have an easy road to state. I think people look at, or maybe our 8-10 record and think, well, maybe they got to the regionals and faced some easy teams, and they were tough. Newton was tough. Diedrich was tough. Stewartson was really tough. Very talented teams, I think. And the expectation, I think that's set here is, we come out on top. We do our best to come out on top no matter what our record is. We have a rich tradition, a great community. I think the players going in to the regional seemed confident. I felt like there was a lot of camaraderie. We took the bumps through the year, but we showed up every day at practice. Those guys did not change. They did not change the way they approached practice or the game. We talked a lot about tradition. When we were losing, I think we lost 6 or 7 games in a row, and we were talking about the tradition of T-Town and what it takes, and you gotta want it. You gotta want to win. Winning's hard, and it's just finding the right way to do it. But with all that, we still try to have fun. We still, it's still a game. It's still a game. We're going out there just trying our best, leave it on the field, and we always talk, take it one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, and just trying to get better. And another thing we do through the year is, and I told the players, what we'll do is we'll find spots that we're weak on. Like we have a bad game defensively, we have bad base running. That next day of practice, that's what we work on. That's what we focus on. We want to be well-rounded and be prepared for the regionals, because we know when that comes around, regional, sectional, we're going to be facing some really tough teams. Another thing is, this is my second year, but our schedule is loaded with good competition. 3A schools, great pitching, Charleston, Taylorville, Robinson, all these bigger schools, and that helps prepare us for regionals, state. So when we get into regionals, we're facing that hard thrower. We're up at state, facing that guy with that nasty off-speed pitch. Hey, we've already seen it before. So I think that's all those things you really attribute to T-Town being successful and just trying to maintain the success.
What makes this team so unique?
I think there's 2 things. First that comes to mind is we do have some 7th graders that stepped up this year. And that was one of the things we talked about is, hey, when you get the call, you need to go and perform, be ready. And we've had some guys step up. But the biggest thing is they're resilient. They are resilient. And like I mentioned that earlier, we strung together quite a few losses, and it was hard. It was frustrating, and the players were frustrated. And they're junior high kids, and it was really hard for a while, I think, for everyone. And we all, the coaches, the players, the parents, everyone just kept trying to move forward, make forward progress. The coaching staff, Coach Bill Martin and Kenny Cornell, those guys are great baseball minds, great attitudes, and they help just keep us moving in the right direction. But I would say, yeah, there's just resilient to take that many losses and take that many bumps and stand back up and come back again the next day and still keep going. That's really hard to do at a young age, and I think a lot of teams would have been beat down, by the time regionals rolled around, sectionals rolled around with the season. I think they would have been beat down, but these guys just kept going.
Coach Kent Ibrigi was here for quite a long time as a coach here for the junior high team, and now you took over his shoes. He took several teams to state. What's it mean to you as a coach? Now you're taking a team to state that he's coached before.
Extremely, extremely fortunate to be where I am with this team and this program. Kent created a dynasty here. We've got several records up at IESA that we've set as team records through the years. I look around the the region too. And I think, I think this is the best program, and for me to come in and take his spot, I'm so grateful for it. I never can't, I never give up. I'm grateful to be here, and I don't want to let the community down. I don't want to let the team down. I want to keep the dynasty going and keep things moving just as they were. And he created a lot of what we have here. Like earlier I talked about how we have a tough schedule. We face good teams all year. I think that was a big part of him doing that and just creating a winning culture. And I can just say I'm lucky to be here, and he gives so much support to me and to the team. So super thankful for that. I've known Coach Niebuhr for a long time. We like to give each other a hard time, which makes it even a little better. But just thankful and grateful, and excited for next year as well.
Everybody here, of course, supports one another. The community is unbelievable. Of course, I've went through the program here and through the high school program, so I can relate to that as well. But from coaching as you are now and seeing the fans come out and support from the parents' perspective, what's that mean to you, and where else do you see this anywhere else?
I don't think this is anywhere else, from what I've seen. I've even lived out of state a few different spots as well, and I think the community, the parents, the coaches make the program. The support of the parents, they have the kids ready to play. They're at the games, they help with the field. They coordinate so many different things behind the scenes, and it's every year the parents are involved, and the group of kids are amazing. They're all just good kids, and we have a blast together, and I think that's because of the parents. I think you can't. I don't think you can have this type of success without a supportive community like we got. And again, I think it makes me just feel lucky that I'm a part of it, and helping kind of lead the way through this.
So Friday morning, you are playing at East Peoria at state finals, the quarterfinals, against Pleasant Plains at 10 a.m. Kind of going into this, what's your game planning, but also what excites you the most?
Exciting just to be there. I think to win that sectional game with our record, we have a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement on the team. And as far as game plan, us coaches have been talking. We're going to take a very similar approach we have these last few games. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Kale's been solid all year, so he's going to be on the mound. We got Blake Niemerg behind him. I know Pleasant Plains, I think they're 25-2. We're 8-10. So clearly we're underdogs going in, but in my opinion, we got them right where we want them. They can try to underestimate us going in, but we're really cranking on all cylinders. Our defense has been amazing. We're hitting the ball better than we have all year, and our pitching has been solid. So I think we're gonna go with a similar game plan. Be aggressive on the bases. See what and see what Pleasant Plains got, and see what we can give to them. We may adjust a little bit during the game, but I think going into the game, we feel good with what we got, and good for game one.
Tony, I appreciate you taking the time for me to speak with me about this incredible run you guys have been on. Yeah, it might have been a struggle during the regular season, but what matters is postseason. It's all about having a positive mindset on what's to come, and now that you guys are going to state, I appreciate you taking the time for me, Tony. It means a lot to me.
Hey, likewise, right back to you, Tyler. Everything you do for the sports community is amazing. It's amazing for the kids, and I know you do it for the kids. I played ball back in the day, and if I had someone like you covering these stories, I would have loved it. I would have eaten it up. I can't wait to get there Friday, get started. And I think the last thing, this team is very inspirational, a huge inspiration to me. I talked to my 7-year-old son about him, how the thing is, we were playing pickleball yesterday, and I was beating him in pickleball, and what I told him? I said, hey, Bodie, you need to be like the junior high team. Don't give up. never give up. And I think they'll always have a place in my heart with this year, with this run. You just can't give up on things. You can't give up on life. And I think that's what's great about sports is you can relate the game to your life. So I think it's a big year, big moment for us.